Yeah. So, what's your thoughts on how things have unfolded here in 2024? Love to get your market pulse. Certainly, you own microcap strategies. I've mentioned it on the live stream. I kind of consider you a point on the microcap space. And if my assessment is correct, we've seen a little bit of action here, not only in the small and mid cap space, but also in the microcap space. It's coming out of a pretty dry period, that's for sure. But what's your take on the landscape here as we've entered into 2024?
It's interesting. Some of the names that are moving are the ones that like are about to turn profitable,
Hmm,
or they show the market that they don't need to raise money.
yeah,
But overall, the sector still is hopeless. But it provides incredible opportunities because if you think about basketball and what was in 2020, 2021, it was almost like you were forced to take shots from the halfway line. Okay.
yeah,
And
yeah,
now, because of the pricing in the microcap space, you're literally just under the basket. And it's just so easy now to make money. Like, for example, the microcap space or the venture space, think of it is people like to confuse it because people like to look at those stocks and be like, well, so and so is not profitable, or so and so is not like
mm,
Microsoft.
yeah,
Well, venture is supposed to be a place where young companies go to access capital in order to grow.
yeah,
So imagine building a house versus a finished house. The small scale space is you're getting equity into those homes that are in the middle of being constructed. So you
yeah,
can't come in and be like, oh, well, the house is not retail ready. Yeah, that's not the space for that, right?
yeah, yeah,
So you have a situation right now where some of the companies went listed in that space for the purpose of building the house. And in the middle of building the house, investors gave up on them. On a dime, they said, well, you're not finished yet. So
yeah,
therefore, we're going to abandon you. So where I'm going with this is that I'm involved I was involved recently in one company where we invested through a private placement,
yeah,
and literally within a month people like tripled their money
yeah,
because the situation was so hopeless. And after we gave them money, it went from complete fuck up to promising, and
yep,
that was enough to for people to almost like triple their money. And now I'm getting involved in another one that I am like in the middle of putting the deal together. We are buying into a company that is on track to do 100 million of revenues, and we're buying into it for 1.7 million. Like, can you imagine? And this is the same story that it's like, I talked to the CEO and I said, what happened? You obviously didn't want to be in this situation to be raising money at such low valuation. He said, well,
yeah,
we were on track of making some acquisitions, and the idea was to become profitable. And then while we were doing it, the market turned, and the market said, we want you to be profitable immediately. And that's not possible with companies. It takes time to turn a ship like this. But because the market gave up on them, and the business is amazing, the kind of clientele that they have, it's like, if I read you the clientele, you'd be like, oh my God, I know all these companies, I know all these
yeah,
entities. And we are coming in right now, injecting the money into them, and we are getting it for a song. Like, it's just unbelievable. So I think that after we're done getting into the deal, I think the same thing is going to happen, where people are going to double, triple their money so quickly. And it's not because we're geniuses. it's because the market gave up on them and sent the valuation so low that we have the basketball in our hand and the basket is like right underneath us.
Yeah.
And that's why, those opportunities exist.
Is this market for everyone, or is it for that specific niche of investor that can truly understand what it takes to succeed in the space?
Well, it's definitely not for everyone, but fortunes will be made on some of the names. Fortunes, and you have to be very, very selective which companies you choose to be part of. But no, this is not for everyone. This is a space where, you have to have stomach for volatility like nobody else, and you have to have so much patience because, like, I kid you not, some of these companies, they drive me crazy so much that I want to commit murder.
I've been investing in Aduro for close to 24 months, and it's been the easiest company that I've ever invested in. So what gives?
The first thing what I want to address is you said that Aduro has been very easy to own. I think that you might be a little spoiled because, and here's what I mean. You see,
no shit.
but here's what I mean. Like when you own a private company, for example, and you go from 10 clients to 100 clients, like you only focus on the fundamental improvement of the business, and then well, I added more clients, I became more profitable, or whatever, or I progressed the asset. If it's an asset, I developed the patent, whatever. My company became more valuable. With public companies, you might have a situation where you are improving the value of your business, the value of your asset, but the stock price is not going in the same direction. And what we had with Aduro, why we kind of got spoiled and we kind of got lucky in a way, is that Aduro was not known during the 2020, 2021, buy pictures of the monkeys for any price. It was not part of it. Nobody knew about it.
Right.
And so we came into that space and it was unknown. The stock didn't have a lot of investors. And then it started getting exposed because I started talking about it, you started talking about it, others started talking about it. So you had more investors coming in. I think when at the beginning it had like maybe 300 to 400 investors. Now I think they have close to 3,000 investors. And at the same time, the company fundamentally produced. They signed up the shell.
Big time.
Then now they have 6 multi-billion-dollar companies. So we see the progression of the fundamental progression, and we feel good because the stock price is moving higher.
Of course.
But now, if Aduro was known during 2020, 2021, what would have happened was Aduro's stock price would have probably been $20.
Yeah.
And we would have seen it go from $20 to $1. While the fundamental performance is happening, we would not be so happy as we are right now. We would not be saying it's so easy to own it. We like to think in terms of catalysts or certain news moving something. And I had the conversation with Yazan the other day.
Yeah.
And it rarely happens. Like if I look at some of the companies that I've been involved over the years, news is rarely what moves it. It just goes out of nowhere.
For no reason.
It's just for no reason, and simply because people are accumulating large number of shares. And to your point, talking about, I don't think this is going to go until institutions are going to get involved. Well, institutions are not really going to get involved until this thing is $1 billion market cap. And I've seen my stocks go just with retail. So it's just, I don't know what it's going to be, but there's more and more eyes every day on this. You've seen You've
Yeah.
seen the video of two-bit Da Vinci, for example.
Yeah.
So now, as we're speaking, that video has 232,000 views,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, like, more people are learning about it, and more people will do due diligence about it. And our efforts help spread the word. It's going to happen, and I don't know what it's going to be, but the company is going to keep progressing. Now we have 6 multi-billion-dollar companies. Very soon we might have 7, 8. It's going to keep adding, and then
Yeah.
some of them, it's like a pipeline, right? You knock on enough doors, some of them will turn into clients, some of them will turn into collaborators. And when they turn into collaborators, I mean, imagine, I'm just going to use the name Shell because that's the only one that's out there. Imagine
Sure.
Shell becomes a collaborator, and now
Yeah.
all the other oil companies know that Shell has a solution for this, for the plastic recycling. They're going to want to know more about it. And it's just, at some point, it's going to be like boiling water. It's just, you won't be able to stop it from boiling. And a lot of investors are just, sitting there again, la 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 la. I have a lot of time, and for the longest
Yeah.
time, they did have a lot of time. But at some point, I've seen it. I've seen Oracle go from 20 cents to $3 in a matter of 15 months. It was like a rocket. There
Yeah.
was no press release, nothing. It just went on a wild run. But like one other thing is, like, whether it's Yazan, you or me, we're value investors, so we're thinking in fundamental terms. So, based on comparable companies that in that space, we like to say, well, we should at least be, 300 million valuation, right?
Yeah.
We're talking from the fundamental perspective.
Yeah.
But I believe that there will come a point of time where this thing is going to be overvalued based on the progress that they have made, because
I see. That's interesting.
that's going to be a
Mm,
problem, because
mm, mm.
we're looking at, comparatively we should be at this valuation. Like, dude, we are not comparable to these companies. We are Nobel Prize candidate.
Yeah.
The comparables are not. Like, when the general public catches to this and believes that this is the company that solves the problem, I mean, think Meet Kevin type of audience, Graham Stefan type of audience. When they learn about this, they're going to be paying. They're going to be buying these shares quicker than they were buying pictures of monkeys. Like,
Or
they're going to
NVIDIA.
go absolutely nuts. I mean, look how nuts they are about Tesla.
That's why I think that in 2024, we might be at a time that we reflect back on and we say, wow, we had it right in front of us.
Going back to the investment that I had, with Oracle, I've experienced this myself. For my investment in Oracle to go from $70,000 to $7 million, okay, and then I'm down like 5 million because of this horrible market. But I've
Yeah.
experienced this before, what it's
Yeah.
like when this goes. Now, over the last 2 years, what I've been doing is planting seeds into similar rockets. And this time around, I think when Aduro goes,
Yeah.
I could see 10 to 40 million dollar of my
You could.
portfolio,
You
right?
could.
Because I own about 1,000,000 shares. So
I know,
it's
man.
like, yeah. So it's
I'm a
like,
math guy.
yeah,
I mean, you're
yeah,
there, man.
yeah.
I don't know what else to say. It's kind of cool for me and you to rap in front of an audience here, and if they're seeing it, again, they're not part of my. I know you run the microcap explosions, but the Friday live stream is free of charge, and for people to really understand this, it takes me back to the people that are accusatory, who, would suggest that somehow this is a scam or a pump and dump, et cetera, et cetera. None of those bitch people really even matter at all, because here's why. They're not interested in buying the stock. And for the people that are buying the stock and will come on and say, I'm an Aduro shareholder, they own a couple hundred shares. Okay. I am talking about representing some serious shares here in a company that we are lockstep along with the executive management that are also accumulating shares at every turn. Okay. At every turn. I have yet to see a sell order on the ledger. I've yet to see it.
Right.
They're all
You
accumulating.
know, talking about the trolls and the,
Sure.
people that are bitch. I think of it like this. Look, when you get involved in the microcap space, you're a matador. Okay, you go into the
Mm,
bull ring with a bull. Okay,
mhm.
with horns that are there
They'll clip
to
you. They'll
they'll
clip you.
clip you. The bull is there to rip your balls off. Okay, and you go into there and you get hurt. Yeah, there you go. You get hurt here and there. And those people that are bitching, complaining, trolling, they're just in the audience. They're in the audience. Like, come into the bull ring with me. Okay? They're just in the audience. Like like I have so many haters out there. Like today, with Yazan, he was like telling me, "Oh, you got this guy, you got this guy." Like, I don't even listen to them. Like, they're blocked. Okay, they're blocked. I
Mhm.
I don't
Mhm.
have time for people to. I don't have time to listen to people in the audience. Like, I have a bull to take care of. Okay, like, you can scream all you want. Like, I
Well
don't
said.
care. Like, I'm fighting with a bull here. Okay, and if you want to join me, come in. Then we'll see how you do. And I play a lot of soccer right now because
Yeah,
the
you do.
market has been driving me crazy for 2 years. So I picked up soccer,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I I see this all the time too in soccer. You're on the field, and then you have these people, in the audience that give you advice, right? And then
Mhm.
later on, you see them play, and you want to cry, like, you were
Yeah,
the one giving me advice. Like,
yeah.
you can't even touch a ball without losing it. So go sit on the audience, shut up, and let the matadors do their thing.
From your chair, Mariusz, have you heard any scuttlebutt at all on anticipation of or progress on, let's say, Game Changer?
Well, if I heard something about the Shell Game Changer program, I wouldn't be dumb enough to say it here.
Nice, nice, nice.
If you get 95% yield, do you think Shell doesn't like it? Well, what's the
I know.
alternative, right? I will say one more thing uh, that many people might not understand. Uh, it's not just about the licensing and getting some of these clients to become revenue generating. When they finish R3, R3 becomes like a commercial product for Aduro.
Yeah,
They can
exactly.
use R3
Exactly.
to become a revenue generating company, like serious revenue generating company. They could source their feedstock, run it through R3, and sell the recycled product. That's what not a lot of people realize, that when R3 is operating, it's almost like us having a semi-commercial unit.
I watch the action every single day, and I'm not really sure if Aduro is being given it. I know it's not being given its due credit on its current listing market. I know it's
No, I mean,
not.
Aduro is
I
too
think
good.
Aduro's okay with that. I
Yeah.
think they're okay with that in the interim, but they're going to get a little bit. They're going to get a little bit stale on that. You
Aduro
know,
is too good for this exchange.
it is.
Okay, the story is too good. This exchange is for, companies that are getting high on pot and they're looking for gold.
Yeah.
That's it. So this Aduro has Meet Kevin and Jeremy written all over. That kind of like, that's it. Like, It is mainstream. It is not, Aduro is not a niche. It is a CNBC, Jim Cramer, people go wild. Like that's it, because
I know, man.
this is a worldwide problem. This is not our pipe broke in the basement, we'll call a piper. No, this is a worldwide problem, and it affects everyone. It affects countries. Countries are swimming in plastic. Countries are letting plastic accumulated in their backyard. From rich countries are sending plastic waste to poor countries.
Yes.
Right? This whole dynamic is going to change. The world is going to change.
Yeah.
Aduro doesn't belong on an exchange where everybody is high on pot and looking for gold.
Where do you see the landscape playing out over the next, let's say 24 months?
I think fundamentally they're probably going to get some collaborators this year. And not because they told me, but because they have 6 multi-billion-dollar companies testing it. Shell, like you said, is probably at the end of the
something comes out of customer engagement, not just a news release.
Yeah, just from the number of people that are testing it, number of doors that you knock on, I think there's going to be a collaborator or two. And Ofer said that's his goal. So I think that's going to happen. Now, in terms of the stock, if you look at, I'm not a chartist, but people are telling me that the chart wants to go to $2. So I wouldn't be surprised if after the warrant exercise expires, and because they just keep providing the shares to any share demand, after that is finished, anybody that wants to buy, the stock might go towards the $2 mark or more. It might go even higher, but it's ready. It's ready to go. And in terms of like a little bit more, 2 to 3 years, I just don't think, it's my opinion, I don't think they're going to stay. I don't think they're going to stay independent. Like at some point, I think they're going to get taken out. I mean, I wish they didn't. I wish they didn't, because if they just stay and then build out the licensing and maybe have their own plans and stuff, that Aduro could be
2030, beyond,
10, 20, $30 billion company down the road. For sure.
Correct.
But I just don't think that's going to happen. I just think somebody will see so much value in it that they're going to be like, we'll offer you $2 to $4 billion, and that's it. And they're going to get taken out at $20 a share or something like that. Like it's my opinion, my speculation, but
of course,
I wish I wish it didn't happen, because then I can make 40 million if I have the balls to hold it. But but I just think it's too valuable. I just think they're going to get taken out.